Welcome back to the KickNPost YouTube channel and podcast with your hosts Amal Thompson and Chris Perry. And today we're starting off our run of tight end talent, hopping into who was the number one overall tight end on a lot of people's draft boards for the last 2 years, but it's kind of been overshadowed by recent guys who've done a lot more in the combine, who've kind of turned up on the national stage. Michael Meyer. How you doing today, Chris?
I'm good. I'm glad we're finally on the tight ends because this tight end class is getting a lot of hype. I think we should turn that down a little bit. Not saying there's not talent out there, but it's still a dead end position. It's going extinct, it looks like. So
for fantasy,
we are on
which is where we talk about
fantasy,
a lot. We're not really messing with the tight ends. There's maybe one guy in this draft with a couple potentials to really skyrocket depending how they develop at the position. This guy is going to be your run-of-the-mill guy. Me and Chris have agreed. We have not agreed on many prospects so far. But we've agreed. This man is slow.
Yeah.
His 40 time was 4.7. He is a big boy, though. 6'4", 265 is what I think I saw. That's a big and heavy boy. So 4.7 makes sense. But he is his play style looks slow. He looks sluggish out there. The right running isn't really crispy. But one thing I will say, I do not see this man drop passes.
Yeah, his hands are soft. Hands are soft. If it touches the tip.
Down, exactly.
Reeling it in.
Exactly. If you need a first down, this guy could be a very good safety blanket for a rookie quarterback. That's what I see. You get him over the middle. He'll find his way to the middle. It might take 5 seconds, but he'll find his way to the middle of the field, find the zone. He can get you a couple first downs, and it'll help you move the chains. Blocking-wise, he leaves a lot to be desired. He doesn't hit me as a brute, right? Kid out of Georgia, 6'8", he a dog. He a blocker, right? Obviously, if we go back through the other tight ends that have come out recently, the Noah Fants of the world, the T.J. Hawkinsons, those guys block. Kittle. Kelsey not so much, but Kittle, those guys drop the shoulder, they block on the line pretty well. If you're not going to provide that type of talent blocking-wise, you got to show me a little bit more athletically. That's why I believe he will land in a good spot where you won't need him to be an elite route runner and a very productive offensive weapon. He just needs to be, again, like I said, a safety blanket, kind of like I want to say Vance McDonald, but he was a dog blocking. Who can I think who was just bad?
Like a Greg Olsen?
But he was so elite as a receiver.
Yeah, I think you are underestimating Meyer's route tree. He can run routes now. Okay. Like, he got the route. It's just, it's going to be hard to translate that in the league because you see his 40 times. So it's like, okay, he's like watching his tape. He gets open. Like, he'll be wide open. He was a focus point on that offense. So it's like,
guy, bro. I'm not a 40. I'm watching the film. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
really slow.
With his intangibles, like his hands, he only needs a window of openness. Like, he can make a contested catch. He can catch it and take a hit. He's that type of sure hand. So, in terms of getting wide open, he will never need to do that. He could get enough space to reel it in, which is why it comes down to draft spot. Because if he's playing next to a Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, he's gonna do damage. If he's playing next to a Mike Will and a Keenan Allen, he's gonna do damage. If he's playing next to Devontae Adams,
Waddle, Tyreek Hill,
exactly, he's gonna do damage. But if he's playing next to Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, we don't know. We have to find out.
He's going to average 30 receiving yards a game. That's what we're going to know.
So
4 catches for 30. That's going to be his stat line.
I think the only knock on him right now is his blocking, just because if he is going to be on the field, it's a liability. You have a little tell, and probably 70% of the time you're going to be passing with him on there, unless you are going to give up that side and take whatever damage comes with that. So we'll see.
Which leads me to landing spots. Because
say that again?
Even though I said Miami, I said this leads me to his landing spots. Even though we said Miami, the style of offense they run is very similar to the 49ers style. He's going to need a block. He can't be in Miami.
Yeah.
I could see him with the Eagles. They have Dallas Goedert, obviously, but if they're looking for a cheaper alternative going forward.
Don't they run 2 tight end sets sometimes?
Yeah, they do. So I could see him with the Eagles. Takes a lot of pressure off of him with all those weapons surrounding. So I could see him there. I could see him in Las Vegas. Obviously, you have Josh McDaniels, the what do I say? I wanted to say predecessor, but he didn't end up staying in New England. But somebody who was in the Bill Belichick camp for a very long time should know how to utilize pass-catching tight ends pretty well. Again, they let Darren Waller walk. You have Devontae Adams out there currently. Hunter Renfrow out there still. You added buddy from New England who gave them a win last year. Forgot his name.
Jacoby?
Yeah, Jacoby Myers. Josh Jacobs is still out there. So there's decent weapons on the field. And the offensive line's already bad, so you don't really need them to block. Ain't nobody blocking over there anyway. So just get him on the field to catch some passes. There's some options for him. I could see the Chargers being a good landing spot for him as well.
Great spot.
But anywhere where they're going to need him to be both a blocker and a receiver, you're getting one. You're not getting
like you
both.
said, any spot that needs him to be more than what he is not a good spot. Like,
no.
Just exactly what he is. Plug him in and let him be great at that. He can be a serviceable player, but if you ask for too much, you're going to get nothing.
This is true.
So,
which leads me to where I take him in fantasy. This might be the first player I say this for. I don't really want many parts of Michael Meyer in fantasy.
Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of mocks. They have him like late first, like 112, early second, and it's like there's other prospects on the board that I would much rather have. There's some like receivers that could be taken early third that I would rather have than Michael Meyer. So I don't know what truth that is.
I will trade out if somebody hits me with the who you taking at 112, and I go I don't know, and somebody's like I want Michael Meyer. I'd be like, offer me something. Offer me your 2024 first and your wide receiver 4. And I'll move it for you to get Michael Meyer.
They willing to pay that. They're in all this hype. It's cool. I just think, especially with the dynasty community, they feel like every year is like there's a cornerstone quarterback, cornerstone running back, cornerstone tight end.
You're
like
right,
last year
Chris.
it was Pat Freiermuth, and it's like
they gotta find the next big tight end.
Like
they got.
Sometimes it's just not there.
Everybody's like, there's a Travis Kelce out there.
No,
everybody's
I
thinking that.
I love Myers. I love Kincaid. They the next nobody. They're their own selves. Now, if you want an elite tight end prospect, be real with yourself and listen to them all. Trade for that 24 first and get the boy from Georgia next year. That's a legit you want a player, go get a
Brock Bowers.
Get him. Brock Bowers, go get him.
Go see why that 6'8" beast who's getting a lot of hype in the combine this year had to ride the bench. Go see why. Go see why that man didn't get that many snaps. 6'8", elite blocker, okay hands. Couldn't get on the field because Brock Bowers was there. Go check the tape and see why. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
If you really want your tight end prospect, wait for next year. He's probably going to end up being a top 15 draft pick, no question. And I feel like he could elevate a team or be that next big tight end to kind of be the center point of an offense. But again, like we said in fantasy, that position is dying.
It's a dying breed. I'm sorry. It's just like the white cornerback. It doesn't exist anymore. So just be smart and don't force it. Now, 112 for a tight end, think about that, fellas. No. Even if he is a top 5 tight end, that's a top 100 player in Dynasty. If he's a top 3 tight end, you're lucky if it's a top 50 player in Dynasty.
Bruh.
Why spend the pick on that?
Is most leagues that are still playing tight ends have to do tight end premium where they get an extra half point per catch.
Now,
that doesn't sound instance, like. Oh yeah, if you're doing the extra half point a catch, then I could see why you chase the tight end position. But still, you're looking at a guy that unless he ends up in a situation where they're gonna flood him with targets, which again, his play style doesn't look like the flooding me with targets play style. Now I might be completely off base on this. But he doesn't strike me as a guy that could garner 10 targets a game in the NFL.
No, I think he's going to be on the lower side, definitely around like the 4 to 5 range. I think his bread and butter is going to be in the red zone. Because like you said, surefire hands. If you can get it to him, he'll reel it in. So he might have a lot of
that. Then I could see the potential for a plug and play in a tight end premium to have him on your, tight end spot if he's a big red zone target and he lands with a roster that has really good offense. Again, I don't like him in Miami, but if they bring him on for red zone packages, right? Even Mike Gesicki was catching
for example,
year.
Yeah. Like, as long as you put him in a situation where you have 1A, 1B option in the red zone and he's that 1B because he's a rookie, then yeah, he's going to eat. For example, the Raiders. You're not going to guard him over Devontae Adams in the red zone. You can put 2 heads on Devontae, give him a one-on-one. I like that. Like, Jimmy G's going to deliver the ball. That's money. But that's the thing. That's a perfect case scenario if they want to do it that way. They also have he's the 4th option right now on that offense. So it's like, that's a lot of hoping to do. And that's why you don't spend a 112 on that. That's why you don't spend a 2-1 on that. If you want him, trade back. Get your guy. You know I'm for it. But don't be smart about it. You know what to do.
Yeah, I'm not spending. I'll kind of ruin a lot of these player profile videos going forward in terms of tight end position. I am not spending a first-round pick on any of these tight ends this year. No. I intentionally traded out of the back end of the first to hopefully get a little bit earlier into the first round so I can make my moves at positions that I actually like. The wide receiver position, the running back position, the quarterback position. Those are the positions I like to invest in the first round. Unless it's a Kyle Pitts level athlete, tight ends are guys that I'll just, I'll scoop in later rounds or I'll try to, trade for them once they're underperforming early in the year. Because, again, you think it takes a while for rookies to break out? Go tell me the last time you saw a rookie breakout tight end that went for anything over 550 receiving yards.
Yeah, the last one was Pitts, only obviously. Kyle Pitts, and he broke 1,000. Great year. Yeah, but even his year was mid.
Go back and check. They take a while to actually build their resume and kind of come to fruition, I would say, right? And
yeah, like T.J. Hawkinson just came in this year. Remember, Noah Fant was huge coming out of college, mid. I remember Pat Freiermuth, huge, mid.
These aren't just plug-and-play type players. The tight end position, it takes a while to learn because you're learning, obviously, the blocking schemes on the offensive line if you're meant to be doing that. And then the route tree and what's expected of you right there as well is tough, right?
Yeah, it's the toughest position in football. You have to do everything that football asks from a player at a high level. You got to be able to run routes, you got to be able to read coverage, you got to be able to block the biggest guys, you got to understand not only the offensive line, but the passing game. And it's like, what other position does that? Secondary only has coverage. Linebackers focus on running backs. Quarterback has one, other than quarterback, you have to be just as knowledgeable as the quarterback on so many different levels. And it's that asks for a lot. And that's why when you do see your Kelseys, your Kittles, they get so much love and praise for being great at that spot because real players know how hard it is, what they really have to understand and do on a day-to-day basis to be considered one of the greats. So
that's true. My closing thought is, depending where Michael Meyer is going in your draft, which, let's be real, we obviously see the potential, but a lot of guys in Dynasty, I don't know how much they're plugged into the prospects, and they might just be looking at RBs and wide receivers. If Michael Meyer slips to late second round, then I'm okay spending that pick.
Yeah, I think he's the 3rd tight end taken off the board. I think Kincaid goes first, no question. I think someone reaches for Darnell because of
the blocking aspect.
Obvious reasons. Yeah, and then
I could see Darnell.
You can really get Meyer a good spot. Yeah, and I think Meyer's gonna be a great value pick, and that's what I'm saying. Don't force it because even if he does get scooped up, that means A, someone's taking him too early, so not your fault. And then B, if you do miss out on him, you do have some other quality prospects. You have the buddy from Georgia. You got a buddy from Iowa. You got your Old Dominion boy.
Old Dominion, Zach Kuntz.
Yeah.
Which I know there's not much love for him between me and Chris right now. But there might have to be a Kuntz video because I do want to do this boy's backstory a little bit.
Yeah. The fact he's mid too, but
he's
we'll
the
entertain
athlete
it.
that he is. I mean, but this is a guy, Zach Kuntz, unless you watch our videos now or you're really plugged into Dynasty content, he might be on waivers for a lot of you guys. Unless he gets super high draft capital, you might be able to sneak him off waivers. Kris, I tell this story all the time. I got our boy out of Vegas, Darren Waller, off waivers my first year playing Dynasty. There is value if people land in the right spot.
Yeah.
And you just don't know the guys, people let them kind of ride the bench or like ride the waivers, and they're like, I don't know that name, I don't know who that is, I don't care. He'll just hang out there. You could find some gems, and at 6'8", I'm willing to take a shot on the boy in the third round or off waivers. But again, that's a video for another day. Any closing thoughts on Michael Meyer?
No, my stepdad is calling, so I gotta answer this.
I would like to thank y'all for watching. Again, on the road to 500 at 439. Hopefully at 440 by the time this posts.
Yes,
Get us to 500 subscribers. Thank y'all for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.